Hey there, this is Dr. Evan Osar, developer of the Integrative Movement System. Welcome to video 2 of this 3-part video series of Integrative Movement Insider, training the older client using corrective exercise strategies. Recall from the first video and the article that went along with the video series is that we want to pay attention to several key concepts when working with our older clients. Number 1 is we want to really increase their awareness to their current posture and movement habits. Because when our older clients are aware of their current habits, we can help them develop more optimal and efficient habits that will help them successfully move towards achieving their health and fitness goals. Number 2, we want to pay attention to the small things that can make all the difference in our older clients. We want to pay attention to the third thing, which is the 3 principles of the integrative movement system: alignment, breathing, and control. And that's really how we pay attention to those small things that can make all the difference. Too frequently, we think our older clients can't change because they're too old. But we've seen many of our older clients change and change rather dramatically by paying attention to the small things, like how they're aligning, how they're breathing. Can they access more 3-dimensional breathing? Can they control their body just a little bit better during their exercise patterns? And this can make such a difference in how they feel and the efficiency of how they move, so that they feel better, they move better, and they can ultimately do the things that they need to, want to, and love to do. In the last video, we talked about the hip hinge pattern. It's one of our go-to patterns for improving hip mobility and creating that awareness of moving the pelvis over top the femoral heads, or creating that pure hip hinge motion. In this video, we'll look at one of our most common or go-to patterns for improving scapular alignment and control through a pushing type movement. The modified wall plank with elbow extension is one of the key patterns we use to improve alignment of the head and neck, as well as the thorax, and develop scapular alignment and control. So we cue our client up. So we set them up, long spine, as if they're being pulled towards the ceiling. They're going to stack the thorax over top their pelvis to the best of their ability. Again, we're just always working within our client's ability, not trying to force them into an alignment and or posture that they cannot get to or have to compromise or compensate to get into. So the key concepts during the modified wall plank pattern is we want to keep a long spine. The client will keep long as if they're being pulled up from the backside of their neck to the best of their ability. They're going to stack their ribcage over top their pelvis to the best of their ability. We don't want to force them into a position that causes them to compensate or try to overuse muscles and brace their grip into a forced posture. Give them the ability to do the best that they can do with proper alignment. Long spine, stack their ribcage to the best of their ability over top their pelvis. Next, they're going to put their hands up, just bend their elbows so their hands will start out at about this level. They'll put their hands against the wall and feel as if they're pulling the wall gently apart between their hands. That will help them open these shoulders up or get that wide shoulder appearance and activate the shoulder stabilizers. That will also, if they do it properly, you'll see them actually get longer through their spine as they do that. So it's really a great way to train alignment and control of the scapula, as well as alignment and control of their head and neck and upper thorax. So they pull the wall apart, and then they just lower their elbows down towards the wall and then push away, still feeling as if they're pulling the wall apart. So they'll lower themselves down, stay nice and long through the spine, and then push themselves away. Lower themselves down, and then feel as if they're pushing themselves away. Because ultimately, this is the position we want them to be in when we teach them how to push, when we teach them how to pull, when we teach them how to do push-ups and or pull-ups. And we'll go through that in a future video as well. So I'm going to turn over here, do it again. So they'll align themselves, long spine, thorax over top the pelvis. Hands will bend, the elbows will bend, hands will go against the wall. They'll feel as if they're pulling the wall gently apart. Step back from the wall just a bit, stay long, and they'll lower themselves down towards the wall and then push away from the wall. And if you feel their neck should be nice and long and relaxed. If they're tensing up like this, move their hands lower. Teach them how to just kind of relax and open up the shoulders through the front and then lower down. Push away from the wall, lower back towards the wall, push away from the wall, because this will ultimately set up their push-up patterns, all their pressing patterns, as well as all their pulling patterns. It'll teach them how to be long and open and wide through their shoulders and long through the spine. Really an excellent pattern to retrain posture. It's also an exercise, corrective exercise, that we give our clients that sit for a living. It's a great posture break. They can just stand up, place their hands against the wall, stay long, feel as if they're pulling the wall apart, do 3 to 5 breaths, sit back down. Great way to change their posture, reinforce optimal alignment and control, elongate their spine, and get that 3-dimensional breathing, all while developing improved shoulder alignment, and it will really reduce a lot of that tension through their neck and their shoulder complex. This is Dr. Evan Osar with Integrative Movement Insider. Hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it served you to help your older clients start to work towards successfully achieving their health and fitness goals with greater ease and less chronic tightness and discomfort. In the next video, we'll go into a very common overhead pattern we'll use to improve range of motion through the shoulder, so your clients can overhead press, reach with greater ease and less tension in their shoulder and their neck. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.